Today is a very good day. I'll explain why in a minute. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so I know that I've been complaining a lot. I've been very moody lately, but no, today, you know what? New page, new day, new change of pace, so I'm feeling positive today. You know, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling a little bit relaxed. I feel like I slept a little bit better. But no, it's good for several reasons. First off, I always forget about this, but you can always check out the podcast in the iHeartRadio app. Just type in the show presents Super Dario World, or you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube on Super Dario World Podcast. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can always find me on Instagram. You can reach out to me there. I love talking to people. It's always great. I love getting the feedback, especially when I'm wrong, because it means I'm going to argue with somebody, and that's always freaking great. Love it. Love it. So a lot of great things are on the horizon. I'm not going to say great. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are pretty good. And one is just pretty much great. So I'll start off with that one. Yesterday, my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, had their very first baby. So I don't know how they feel about me saying names and stuff on the air, so I won't. But congratulations to the both of you. I'm very happy for the both of you. And a part of me is kind of torn because it went by super quickly. Apparently, my sister-in-law sneezed and the baby came out. But I thought it was weird because they just sent us the picture of the baby coming out. Well, not coming out, but the baby when it was out. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. But I thought it was weird. My brother tends to be different in that type of stuff, and I was like, I thought it was weird that he didn't at least like mention like, oh, the baby's on its way or something. I don't know. Felt kind of weird. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying like, is this something that's gonna come back and bite me in the ass? But another part was me super happy because I hate hospitals. So if I would have gotten the text of like, hey, come down here, come down here, or if he would have just said, hey, baby's on its way, I would have gone to the hospital immediately. He's like, all right, okay, this is one of those things that you have to be there. I don't like being there for a lot of things, but this is one of the ones that I'm like, all right, I have to be there. There's not even an option. It's not even a conversation. I'm on my way. I would have texted, people at work being like, hey, I probably won't make it because my niece is on the way. Anyway, so a part of me was happy because like, all right, okay, well, I don't have to go. That means I don't have to go. And they kind of had their plan, I guess, already. I don't know, I'll talk about them later. And if I have to guess, they already had their plan set up, and they just wanted privacy, which I totally get. If I'm ever in the hospital, this is for anybody out there, please don't come visit me. It's one of the things I'll never get. I don't like visiting people in the hospital, and the reason why is because I would not like people to visit me in the hospital. Imagine if you're in the hospital, it's because you're really bad. You're in really bad shape, and you're there, you're suffering, and then somebody comes in, you have to entertain them. You have to fucking entertain them. It's like, I get it. You love me. You can love me from a distance. Just let me sleep. Just let me rest. So if you ever hear like, dude, Dario's in the hospital, he's in bad shape, don't come visit me. Don't. I'll appreciate it. You can send me thoughts and prayers all as much as you want. Just let me there. Just let me be there and rest. If you want, you can maybe send my video games or something if you have them. Maybe an iPad so I can watch movies or something, like, or a book. I'll find a way to be entertained. Like, there's so many ways to be entertained now, but overall, it's having to entertain you while I'm feeling like shit, having a conversation, like, oh, how are you feeling? Well, like shit, because I'm in the hospital. So, yeah, so I get that side. So if my sister-in-law and my brother are like, we just want a little bit of privacy, because, I mean, you're not in the best of, most comfortable position there, and, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I thought he would want the support, but I don't know. It's weird. But all right, it's their decision. Baby came out fine. They're happy, so good for them. I'm going to go. Actually, I'm going to keep this one short because I want to get out of here so I can go meet the baby. But overall, yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. It was good to hear. It was she came out right on time, like punctual as hell. Like that kid. It's a good start. Right? It's a good start. She looks like a podling from the Dark Crystal. I actually did the picture that they sent us. I did a comparison with the podling. It's It's dead on. It's dead on. And I asked my sister, like, do you think it's okay for me to send this to, like our Facebook group? She's like, no, you dick. You haven't even met her yet. And I'm like, all right, fine. I'll meet her. But the second that somebody asks me why I keep calling her podling, I got to show them that picture. I got to. She looks like a podling. It's anyway, another reason why I'm in a good mood today. Yesterday, I saw Bill Burr's comedy special, Paper Tiger. It's on Netflix. It is phenomenal. I fucking loved it. Bill Burr's hysterical. He's one of my favorite all-time comedians. And it's pretty funny because the other day I mentioned to my brother, because I was talking about the Dave Chappelle special, because I told him, like, dude, there's a new Dave Chappelle special and let's watch it. And he's like, dude, Dave Chappelle put out 3 specials in the time Bill Burr put out 1. Like, I think Dave Chappelle put on more. He put out like 4 or something. Like, that's insane. Like, yeah, right, it's time for Bill Burr to do something again. And lo and behold, a week later comes out Bill Burr, Paper Tigers. Loved it. Loved every second of it. Now, sometimes when I'm very familiar with Bill Burr, I listen to his podcast. I watch his show, F is for Family. Great show, by the way. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's like a much, much, much dirtier and more fucked up King of the Hill. Like the animation style is kind of like King of the Hill-ish. So I love it. It's great. And so I'm very familiar with Bill Burr, kind of the way, not that his mind works, because the dude, he's out there, man, but kind of like his style of comedy, the topics that he enjoys talking about. So I kind of already knew some of the jokes or the topics he was going to talk about in the special, but you'd never expect the direction he's going to take. Like, he saves the best for it, the best of those jokes, even stuff that he does in interviews, he kind of teases them. But he saves the best for when he's on the stage. And holy shit, he delivers, man. He delivers. I loved it. I love it because he does not give a fuck. Bill Burr does not give a fuck about anything or anyone. And he's a contrarian. Like, he actually enjoys pissing people off. So if somebody says, you can't talk about that, he's like, no, I want to talk about it more because you're pissed. Like, I remember I saw... There's a video on YouTube, and there's like six comedians on a table, and 2 of those, I remember very specifically, 2 of those are Bill Burr and Joe Rogan. Also Bert Kreischer. I don't remember who else is in there, but to me, those are like the big 3 in there. And Bert Kreischer's hysterical too. Like, his special, The Machine, on Netflix is great. But so you got those 3 there, and they're watching the Hillary Clinton Donald Trump election, and it's fucking hysterical because Bill Burr keeps flip-flopping on who he's rooting for, and he's flip-flopping depending on who's winning or who's gonna piss people off the most. And at one point he's like, yeah, I don't even care who's winning. I just enjoy pissing people off, and it's great. It's great. It's great time. Highly, highly enjoyable special. I highly recommend it. I love that there's this trend going on. Well, not trend, but I love that Dave Chappelle did it. I love that Bill Burr did it now. That this whole, I don't give a fuck about you, all you, or PC culture, all these people trying to censor comics and all that shit. It's like, fuck you, I'm going to talk about whatever I want. And if you don't want me to talk about this, that's exactly what I'm going to fucking talk about. I love it. It's great. That's the direction that comedy had to go. You can't negotiate with terrorists. You just got to say, fuck you, I'm going to talk about whatever I want. You're not the boss of me. I can do whatever I want. And Bill Burr does it. Bill Burr doesn't give a fuck. Ricky Gervais doesn't give a fuck. Dave Chappelle do not give a fuck. And so the big names, the big dogs out there have to be the ones to do it first. They just have to. And they're doing it. So good. Good on them. Good on Bill Burr. So I was very happy about that. That had me in a really good mood. It's a great special. Again, highly recommend it. And so it was good times all around. And now I saw a few pieces of news here that caught my attention. So I'm going to go through these real quickly before I get out of here. Because again, short on time, and I want to go meet my niece. And I'm literally just waiting for the podcast to load, the P1 podcast. It's an interesting one. Anyway, so 3 things that actually no, 2. Because 1, it was just a trailer that I saw, but it's whatever. We'll wait and see. It was just a teaser. But Two things. J.J. Abrams' production company called Bad Robot just signed a massive deal with Warner Media, and it's a 5-year deal, and it's not going to be just for TV shows. It's going to be TV shows, films, and video games, well, also digital content. So Bad Robot making video games can be very interesting. J.J. Abrams is really good at setting up stuff. He created Lost, Fringe, Westworld, so dude's really creative. His company, Bad Robot, does high-quality stuff, so I'm excited. I want to see what he does in the video game world, Actually, a medium where you can interact. That's the beauty of video games. And one day I might do a podcast about this, just about that, the beauty of video games. But it's an interactive medium. And I think I can break it down right now. So there's a thing about art that you can experience it in different ways. For example, a painting you experience only through sight. Music you only experience through your ears. Movies you experience through your eyes and ears. Video games is something that you can actually touch and be a part of. You develop the story. You're not just reading a story, you're creating the story. The story doesn't exist unless you partake in it. And some video games you can actually create the story. So it's a beautiful interactive experience with art. And you could say that the art form itself is the interaction, or it's part of it. So it's great. It's great. I want to see what he can do in that particular art form, because so far I've enjoyed the stuff that he's done in different things. Now, that's news number one. News number two is apparently HBO has announced that they will, how they're making a billion spin-offs of Game of Thrones? Well, the first one's already, that this is supposed to be of the Age of Heroes, and they already shot the pilot, and they got Naomi Watts in it, and blah, blah, blah. So that one's already in the books, or at least the pilot is. Who knows if the pilot is going to be any good, but it's already in the books. But they also announced one of the other ones of what's it going to be. And this one is going to trace this. So the second one, I guess, there's probably going to be another one that comes out first, but there's another. They announced what another one's going to be about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So they announced that that another one of the spin-offs is going to be about the Targaryen history in Westeros. So this story is amazing. The story, I've said this multiple times. To me, the story before the events of Game of Thrones are even better than Game of Thrones. Even better. Robert's Rebellion is awesome, but the conquest of Westeros, the Targaryens conquered Westeros like 300 years before, and their story is just an epic fucking drama. Like, I could perfectly see season 1 being Aegon Targaryen conquering Westeros with his dragons, the Field of Fire, and all that shit. The Black Dread just burning everybody alive. Great. I can totally see that being done. But from there on out, things get crazier and crazier. Because, for example, Dorne was not ever. This might be a spoiler, so I'll save it. So let's say that the conquest of Dorne was very, very interesting, and it has a lot of twists and turns and a lot of fucking complications. There's a shit ton of incest, and there were a shit ton of Targaryens. So there was a lot of jealousy between siblings. You have the story of Aegon the Dragon Knight, who was banging a relative who was married to a king. You got the story of the Rogue Prince. Dude, do yourself a favor. Ooh, this might be a spoiler too. Well, if you don't mind spoilers, just Google the Rogue Prince and read his freaking Wikipedia story. His story is fucking awesome. The Rogue Prince he's one of the best characters in the world of Westeros, and he's not even really in the books of A Song of Ice and Fire. He's just kind of like a legend there. It's great. So I'm very stoked about this. If you want to read Targaryen history, there's a book called Fire and Blood. It was written by the same author, George R. R. Martin, where he basically chronicles the story or the history of the Targaryens. It is great. The Blackfire Rebellions are amazing. The story of Dunk and Egg. Well, Dunk and Egg are not really in Fire and Blood, but you don't know who they are, so it really doesn't matter. But the Blackfire Rebellion stuff is great. Because there's multiple of them. The War of the Five Penny Kings. Dude, that story is so good, and I'm so happy that they're exploring it more. And, it's honestly, that got me stoked. That got me really stoked, because this story is that one is actually finished. It's so there's no way for George to fuck us up in the ending or for any other producer to fuck up the ending because that ending's already done. So I'm excited for that. Honestly, good things are on the horizon. Good day. Good day. Today was a good day. I also had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine. I'll save that one for Tuesday probably because it's fun. You know how you have those friends who sometimes you don't see in a while, but when you see it they always feel like, oh, it's like we saw each other yesterday. You feel close. You can open up. And we talked about a lot of really deep philosophical stuff. It was very interesting, and it got me thinking about some stuff. So I'll probably save that for next week because right now I saw this and I'm ready to go. This thing's done. The thing's done. So hopefully you enjoyed this today. Hopefully you're looking forward to some of my. I think people like my advice. I like to think so. Whenever I say something out there, when I put something out there, it's meant to be helpful. Or maybe I have a question. But I try to be helpful to people. When people reach out, they're usually like, oh, man, that was great advice. Thank you. Or like, oh, what do you think of this? Or how? I like helping. As much of a dick as I am, I like to help. It's fun. I'm at the point in my life where I feel like I want to be, I want to create stuff. I want to see things grow more than I want to destroy them. It's very interesting. Like I've considered taking up like gardening or something. Like, because I want to see something grow. I'm tired of just destroying things. Like I want to actually like grow stuff, make life, make something great, help somebody develop, be a mentor or something. And that's why I got pets. That's why I got my lizard. So it was a need that I was, and because you can't play with plants, right? You can't relate to plants. You can't have that type of interaction. So it was like, all right. In fact, you eat your plants. Like, I grew these tomatoes from scratch. They're my babies, and now I'm going to eat them. So no, that was one of those things. And but yeah, so that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll get into more of that probably Tuesday. So unless there's something big that I really want to talk about. But yeah, probably Tuesday. As always, thank you for listening. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me, again, at Dario the Show. Thank you for listening. And, oh, wait, no, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? I forgot. I almost blew this one completely. I'm not going to be back on Monday. This Monday I'm off. I can't exactly say why right now, but I can say it's not a work thing. It's a day off, but if I can't say the reasons, I kind of promised. Anyway, so I'll be off on Monday. I'll be back on Tuesday. I have no idea who's going to cover for me at the station. I don't even know if they got somebody to cover for me at the station. I told them. So hopefully things don't blow up, and get ready because there's not going to be a video P1 podcast next Monday because I'm not going to be here to do it. But that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great weekend.